Good morning, my friends. TGIF. We made it to Friday. Whew, what a week. So I'm going to put it out there right now that if we have technical difficulties, I am in the middle of a snowstorm and I am not going to be responsible if the internet shuts down. We've had a few flickering lights. It's heavy snow right now, so we could end up with a bit of a shutdown. So I'll apologize in advance if that happens. Crossing our fingers, it doesn't. All right. So this reading today is for the final week of April. Back in the end of March, beginning of April, I said that if we didn't have intention and we weren't very specific, like we weren't very intentional and focused, we were going to lose out on this week or this month. It's going to slip by. So we're already at the end of the month. How much were you able to put that intention in so you got the most out of this month? So let's keep that in mind as we unfold and unpack what is going to happen from the week of April 24th through the 31st or 30th. It's only 30 days in April. So for this reading, I am going to use a deck I haven't used very often at all. It's a beautiful deck. It's very much, as you can see, based in the Rider-Waite. It's gorgeous. It's got the gold foil, and then it's got the shimmery gold back. This is called the Rider-Waite, or the what is it? The Rider Tarot Collection. I have a link below to it. It's it was a Kickstarter that I bought last year, maybe even the year before. I can't remember. I've linked the actual Kickstarter because I couldn't find her online anywhere. I like the deck. And for those who are interested in starting to read, I always encourage reading on a Rider-Waite or learning to read on a Rider-Waite, one of their original artwork pieces. And there's a number of decks like this. I want to say in the last 5 years, the copyright on the Rider-Waite imagery that Pamela Coleman-Smith drew was up. So you see decks like this. I like this deck because it's got the bold colors opposed to kind of some of the cross-hatching that the original one has. And I also like the, it's the Radiant Rider-Waite. It really pops the imagery, but it keeps true to the actual symbolism. So that's my tip on tarot this morning. You're welcome. Then I've paired it with the, this is the Energy Oracle. It's a nice, well, I guess fundamental deck, just like Rider-Waite. Okay, so what can my friends expect from the week of April 24th through to the 30th? It's crazy to believe that we are into the final week of April, and I'm in a snowstorm. Canada. It just seems like things are slipping by quickly. So I want to make sure that you guys get what you can out of this week. Nice. I love it. This is very Fabio inspired. And from anybody from it was kind of really big in the late 80s would know who Fabio is. If you don't, Google it. He was the first guy that ever came out with long, luscious hair. Man holding a heart. So we do need to be a little bit cautious with our heart this week. We don't want to ignore it, but we want to be very mindful of it. We want to make sure that we're not letting it overwhelm us and dictate our week. We want to have it in our hands and use it to our advantage rather than letting that heartache and pain slow us down. Additionally, we have the man. Okay. So I want you to make sure that you are balancing your energies, that masculine and feminine. It doesn't matter what gender you identify with in this lifetime. We have both energies within us. We just have a tendency to favor one over the other. That's how we get our gender. So, making sure that you're balancing that out. If you don't know how to do that, because let's be honest, that can be a lot, I have a meditation in my Just You and Me playlist where we're balancing the masculine and feminine energies. Brought it out last year. Super helpful in doing this and super easy. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. Here I'd like to give you guys the guidance and the tools to support you. Big piece, not just the guidance. I'm not going to tell you what's going to happen and say, see ya, have fun. Sure, I'll tell you to have fun, but I'm going to give you some tools to overcome those challenges. So I have 3 meditative playlists, a mindfulness playlist, and 4 healing playlists. And we're counting. Come on, guys. There's more coming. So one of my mindfulness or my meditative playlists, it's called Just You and Me. In there, if you scroll through, you're going to find that meditation where you're balancing the masculine and feminine will help. Doesn't matter what gender you are. Okay. I should also say, all my meditations, everything is guided. It's not like I'm going to say, you're going to get a meditation that says, oh, we're going to listen to the sound for the next half an hour. Good luck. My mind would squirrel out and I would get nothing done. So I want it to be productive for everybody involved. Again, we have the thinking man. Again, we've got that masculine. Remember, guys, Saturday we have the full moon, not the full moon. This makes sense. The new moon, the second one of the month. So very divine feminine energy, right? Yes, I'm going to be bringing out on Tuesday another new moon healing. It's different from the one that we had at the beginning of the month. I love it. I just channel what comes up in these healings and just let it ride. So I've already filmed it. It's ready to roll. You guys are getting it on Tuesday. It's going to be fun. Saturday is when the new moon comes in. Tuesday's a little early. However, you can still intentionally draw down that feminine energy. And that can help you with that healing and nurturing. It really is going to help to calm things down for you. Now, we're back to the masculine. That balance is going to be essential. Over the next couple of weeks, we've got a lot of feminine going on. We've got the new moon. Then we roll into Mother's Day. So then we have the Divine Mother. And I should say, Happy Earth Day to everybody. And today we're celebrating Gaia. Lots of girly stuff. Let's get the boy-y stuff in too, okay? Don't forget that. That stability is going to be important this week. Back to the thinking. We want to use that thinking mind to support us over the challenges. This week, unfortunately, we're going to be looking at the challenge. We already know we don't want that pain and heartache to drive us. We need our head to drive us. We do need that heart-centered compassion, nurturing, and passion to fuel us. So that's why we're looking. Because if you look at this man here, he's holding that heart. He's in control, not the heart in control of him. It's fueling him. And we want that. We want it to fuel you. We want this. And yes, clear quartz can help this week, guys. I'll get to that. But we want to use that frontal cortex. So the meditations that I've mentioned, that balancing meditation, that's going to help balance out the 2 spheres of our brain. Okay? We know meditation scientifically supports us. So balancing it out brings us up here rather than back here. Back here is the rudimentary brain. This is where we think and we do that quick response. That quick response is going to give us more problems than good. Here, where we can start to create and problem solve. That's where we want to be. That's where we want to focus in on. Not to mention, what else is right here? Well, your third eye. It's right here. Same space. We want to stay up here, not be that reactive person. Our heart center will help us be that reactive person because that pain and heartache, that fear pops out. Oh, clear quartz. I was going to mention how clear quartz helps. Oh, did they take it? No, my kids have not been on my crystals. This is a clear quartz point. Clear quartz is a natural amplifier. So if you want to really help to amplify energies, you can use this to your advantage. So should you be wanting to do, say, a meditation, well, you can hold that. I don't know if I'd necessarily hold a point, because during the meditation, you could end up jabbing self, which, let's be honest, is never fun. You could get something like this. This is just a really nice piece of tumbled quartz. You can hold it in your hand while you meditate. It helps to amplify the energies. Okay? All right. Woman holding a heart. Love it. That balance is very, very clear. We need to really be mindful of that heart center. We don't want it to control us. We want it to, like I said, fuel us. And we need that balance. Now, like I said, there are going to be lots of challenges this week. As a reader, we hope that it's going to always be the Sun card, and you're going to have lots of, Four of Wands with celebration, Three of Cups with more celebration and happiness. That's not reality. Reality is it can get really hard. And it's usually in that reality that we learn the most, that we really connect into that inner self, what it is we can and should be doing. So, another way I can support you in helping to combat some of these energies is the very first meditation I did in my Just You and Me playlist. It's a protection meditation. It takes the divine feminine, divine masculine, and we top it off, the cherry on top, Archangel Michael. It's an energy protection meditation. Really helpful, especially when you know you're going to be going into meetings or situations where the energies may be a little bit more confrontational, unsure. I think the mall, you know how that crazy kind of almost booming energy, that kind of thing. And if you're going to the mall, absolutely. I never suggest to people to go into a space where people can get easily frustrated and overwhelmed, not have energy protection. Okie dokie, let's get into the beginning of the week. What can my friends expect from the beginning of the week? So like I said, next week we do have the new moon coming in at the end of the week. Ooh, that one was important. But we also have something interesting. It's an eclipse. We've got an eclipse coming in at the end of the month as well, which can also bring in some challenge, because eclipses, they are kind of like minor tower events. They're very confrontational because you have those two masculine and feminine energies, like in front, which one it is, solar or lunar. And I can tell you, 1 second. The lunar eclipse, it's a solar eclipse on Saturday. Not tomorrow, but the next day, or the next Saturday. So we have the sun going in front of the moon, or is it the moon in front of the sun? I can't remember off the top of my head. But you have that very confrontational energy. So you're going to get some rocking and rolling on Saturday. And that could exactly be why we're looking at the balancing of masculine and feminine. The more balanced we are, the more stable we are, and the less these confrontational and very booming energies can be. So the card that popped up head first is the Knight of Wands. We're going to need that willpower, that drive, that no fear adolescent energy to charge and put us forward. Okay? To push through the challenge and not get too lost along the way. Now, this is going to be very important, guys. We want that willpower and drive. That's going to help us. Okay? Willpower and drive. You're looking at that passion and that knowledge. You're really using your abilities to get yourself going. You want to be intentional with it. This guy's young. He's an adolescent energy. I know in my adolescence, it was pretty easy to get distracted. Happens in my adulthood too, but we are more likely to challenge things that we may not necessarily should have, right? It comes down to that, is the fight worth it? Adolescents, they fight everything and can easily get misdirected because our ego will show us a fight where there isn't. So we want to make sure that we have that direction. We have that control over this energy, control over self. The Hermit. I like this rendition where it's kind of got the purpley background. You kind of lose the Hermit in the original card. So the Hermit, of course, is that reflection card, that guidance, that inner work card. Do we want to spend a lot of time, say on Sunday, I'm going to take the whole day and reflect and work on me? No, again, that's not taking control. That's not reality. That's not balance. Do we want to spend some time on it? Absolutely. Do we want to spend all day? Probably not. We have other stuff to do. There's other demands and expectations we have to meet. Put it in little pieces. It doesn't become overwhelming, and it doesn't become something that we dread. We want to be excited about this and use it to our advantage. The more we understand about ourselves, the more we're going to be able to achieve, because we have been able to tap into some of those emerging aspects that we forgot, stuff that we enjoy doing in this lifetime and past. So, easy ways to do that: meditation. Anytime you meditate, that's mine are A, all guided, and B, I cap them around 30-ish minutes. We're not spending large chunks of time. 30 minutes, that's manageable, right? I also encourage people when they are meditating, and if you are one of those rare unicorns that can sit down and sit in a state of I applaud you. I can't do that myself. Always have your spiritual binder. So literally, at hand, spiritual binder. This is my second one, actually. You can put dividers in, you can put paper in, you can paste things, you can do a lot of things. Also, it's harder to lose. Those little books have a tendency to walk away. Plus, they're not as user-friendly. You can't print something off. You can't easily add pockets of fun things that you find or pictures because it's very small. Adds a lot of support there. I like the diversity. I like the user-friendliness of it. So have that close at hand with a pen. Your phone, your computer, it's too easy for the low vibrational stuff to get a hold of that, and it goes missing or it becomes corrupt, especially as we have Mercury retrograde at our heels. May 10th, Mercury goes into retrograde, which means communication stuff, our computer, our actual voice will start to fall. We'll start to falter and we'll start to really struggle. If we use pen and paper, can't struggle there, right? It's pen and paper. So the last card is the Five of Cups. We have a lot of choices, and this is where I'm talking about direction, guys. We can choose the two upright cups that's going to bring us balance, that's going to bring us joy and happiness. Or we can keep beating a dead horse and focusing in on the challenges, the problems, what's not working, where we are failing, where things are missing, what we don't have. I like this, and it's hard to see in the original card, but the original card, the little liquid that's poured out of them, one's red, one's brown, and one's green. And there's looks like what they're supposed to be, right? Blood, number 2, and then some sort of ooze or pus. This is stuff that's not helping us. We're missing how to get to the bridge and to where we want to be. We're avoiding our intuition and what's happening, what we could be doing. So that intention and directing that night is going to be important. We have choices. Again, that head. I should mention what I said about the binder. You're going to get guidance and insight when you do your meditations. Sometimes it comes in clear, sometimes it's a little foggy. The more you connect in with that intuition, your higher self, and what's called clairs, the more you're going to get out of it. The more you trust yourself, the more you're going to be able to put down. Having it close at hand, though, you're not going to have to go trying to search for things. That's when your ego takes over and you forget everything. So it's like those dreams. If you're a dreamer, and there's a lot of people who are, having that binder right at your bedside, and when you wake up, you can just grab the pen and automatically write down and draw. You will get it out rather than going, oh, I really want to remember that. And by the time you get up to go pee, because you've been in bed all night, and then something else happens, and you find a pen and paper, and you're like, I don't remember. That's what we're combating there. Because that message, that wisdom, that connection, it too will help us bring to where we want to be. We want to get out of that stuckness, out of that heartache and pain, and into something that is the rainbows and butterflies. Which I should say, we're starting to see. We already have some of it here. We want to focus in on those rainbows and butterflies, because just like when we're having that bad day, or when things seem to compound and we get more and more problem, the more you focus on that problem, the more you nurture it because you're worrying about it, the more it grows and attracts the same energy. What you put out is what you're going to get back in. All right, let's go to the middle of the week. What can my friends expect from the middle of the week? And I should say Tuesday, like I mentioned earlier, you will have that healing, that new moon healing available. Middle of the week, so kind of Wednesday, Thursday-ish, you're really going to start to feel that new moon energy, depending on how sensitive you are. And if you don't feel it, that's okay. Again, it's something that when you're intentionally looking for it, or when you're focusing in on it, you can start to feel these things. It's also about trusting some of what you're feeling. A lot of us are carrying a lot of gunk and a lot of years of minimizing or dismissing abilities that we have forgotten. This is one of my all-time favorite cards. The Page of Cups. I love the hat. I love the fish. I think Pamela Coleman-Smith just rocked this card. So, and it's hard to see. I would have wished they would have kept these flowers pink. These are lotus flowers. Talking about that peace and serenity, but also talking about how he's just owning it and he's enjoying his tunic tight combination. Pages are that childlike innocent energy. Like I said, we can easily get overwhelmed by this. We need to balance things out. Don't forget the play. Don't forget the fun. And most importantly, don't forget the flexibility, guys. He's not freaking out that there's a fish in his cup. He's like, there's a fish in my cup. Doesn't matter how rocky this gets. He's playful. He's fun. He is rolling with the punches. Because it's going to feel real in the middle of the week. 10 of Swords. Now, know that this does not mean that you're literally going to get 10 swords impaled into you. This is more of a spiritual, emotional impalement. This does a better job than the original card. He's got, come on, camera. This is his cape. There we go. Not blood. Okay. This is his cape, not blood. This is a bloodless impalement. And Pamela Coleman Smith did her best in 1905 with printing that we had in 1909, to display this. So know that he's not physically injured, although we do physically feel this because it's the tension in our neck and in our shoulders and our back. That's where we carry pain and heartache as a physical. Some of us will manifest it in other areas, but that's a typical, especially that shoulder neck combo, right? So the middle of the week, things are going to feel really painful. They're going to be hard. So that playful flexibility, staying up here in your frontal cortex. So using those thinking, creating that solution, using the intuition to the best of your abilities so that you can create solutions that are going to be high vibration, that you're rolling with those punches, no matter how hard and dark they are. We can't change those past experiences, but what we can do is get up and greet our day and do the best we possibly can. And that's the piece that a lot of people miss in the 10 of Swords. The sun is rising here. This is early dawn. And it's up to us. We can stay here and have that kind of pity party. Yeah, oh, woe is me. And yeah, let's be honest. Some of us have lived through some pretty harsh things. We don't want to minimize that, but we can choose. Are we going to stay stuck in the past? Or are we going to greet our day? Because today is a new day. It's kind of why I like to do my readings in the morning. I enjoy my coffee or tea, depending on the day. Today it's tea. We get into some cards and we have some fun, helping to set you guys up. It gives you guys all day to do whatever you need to, and you can come in and check in whenever you need. So that choice is clear. So there's our thinking map. We can let the pain overwhelm us. And I said at the beginning, we need to be very mindful because it can easily overwhelm us. That heartache, that pain, that fear can debilitate us and we stay stuck. Or we can start to explore those two cups, those two upright cups. When we start to explore that balance, we start to explore what's going right. Sometimes it's really hard to find. We are able to move past some of this heartache and pain. It's not a time to heal it. It's a time just to choose. Either we're going to stay stuck, or we can start to use our natural tools, our abilities, our skills to our advantage, and start to move forward. Greet that day. Sure, emotionally, spiritually, and physically, we may feel like crap. However, we're going to use the law of karma to our advantage. Yeah, I feel like crap. It's been hard, but I got up. I'm really proud of me. I got up. I was watching a TED Talk once. I can't remember the fellow, and if you know, please comment below. It was from the army, like a colonel or something like that. And the big piece of the TED Talk was, if all you do in a day is get up and make your bed, you got up and make your bed. You accomplished something. And if you do that every day, that's an accomplishment. You can check that off your list. Then it becomes easier. I'm going to get up, make my bed, and take a shower. Accomplishment. Add to that. I'm going to get up, make my bed, take a shower, and I'm going to go and have breakfast. And you can see how that can easily start to get you moving, because this can feel like it's never going to end, but it is a 10. And 10s are a natural ending and a natural beginning, the 1 and the 0. So know that you have that ability to change things right now. In the middle of the week, you have that ability. It's building up in the beginning. We're kind of getting that momentum. You're building yourself up to make that choice. Choices need to be made in the middle of the week. This is where the new moon healing is going to come into great help for you. and basically any healing where you're looking at kind of getting yourself unstuck. And I've got a number of unstuck meditations. Best part, guys, and I don't think I mentioned this, they're free. I'm not a monetized channel. Any adverts and stuff like that, that's all YouTube. So, all right, end of the week. What does the end of the week bring, my friends? So we're in the embrace of the new moon here. That card, thank you. So if you're wondering how I knew it was the top card, it's because that's what I felt was the top card. That's part of being an intuitive reader. You can hop cards. I know there was one more. 2 hit the floor, but only 1 is going to be in my reach. Here it is. So an intuitive reader, you can tell when they're done. And you kind of feel, it feels right. And this is very much the card that you need. The 4 of Pentacles. That grounding is going to be essential. Also, if you see this card, he looks pretty stable, right? But he's also very, very kind of scrunched up and protected. So the pentacles here are blocking him. This covers his crown chakra. He's not getting any support from the spiritual realm. This one covers his throat, his heart, his solar plexus, and his sacral. He's also very disconnected from self, passion, connection. Very, very disconnected because his heart center is disconnected. And then these 2, he's not actually standing with his feet firmly planted in the ground. He has pentacles there. They're stopping that connection. And then he also has his cloak or it's some sort of wrap. It could be like a cloakish type thing, but it's wrapped around him like he's huddling. He's not relaxed. He's also disconnected from the town. He's outside of it. That disconnection is minimizing the stability. We need that energy flow so that we're able to feel physically stronger, emotionally better, spiritually connected. So making sure that you are physically connected into the ground. The end of the week, I would really recommend one of my energy meditations where we're looking at the chakra system. Fantastic one I did last month with Archangel Raziel. I also have a couple in my Just You and Me playlist. Easy ways to start to connect into that chakra system and that energy work within you. You don't have to be a Reiki master. You don't have to know all your chakras. We go through them in the meditations. That's going to help strengthen you on the inside. Because when we're stable and strong on the inside, we start to emanate that energy and we can create stability and strength on the outside. So many of us are huddling. We're kind of trying to protect ourselves, but in that protection, we're missing out. We're missing out on opportunities. We're missing out on joy and happiness. So we're so worried about getting hurt. We're so worried about losing out. We don't want to be in a financial deficit. We don't want to add and incur more problems. Yet in this protection, in this safety that we're creating, we're causing ourselves more problems. Temperance. Such a fun card. So for those who are angel fanatics, this is really not an angel. This is a goddess. This is the goddess Iris, which is kind of depicted here with these little yellow irises. Now, Temperance, she is the gatekeeper of balance and energy flow. She has 1 foot on the water or on the land, and 1 foot in the water. So she's using the physical realm and the spiritual realm to her advantage. Anytime you see water in tarot or oracle, that's what you're looking at, is that emotion and intuition. Okay. Now, energy flow. The fluid is not going from the top cup to the bottom. It's going from the bottom cup to the top. That energy flow, we need it. We want to get to the prize. The more balanced and stable, the more we have those energies flowing throughout us, the more we're able to see this pathway forward. Really reinforces what I just said. I love it. The 9 of Cups, reminding us that there is abundance all around us. See? And abundance can come in many forms. It can come in the financial, that financial stability, that monetary. It can also come in other ways. Emotional being, spiritual health, physical health, relationships. We can have abundance in many ways. I like to think of it as a cornucopia. It's not just usually one type of vegetable that comes out, falling out of the cornucopia. You have fruits and vegetables and nuts. You've got everything. And nuts are part of that abundance, guys. That wellness, that joy, that laughter, so important. Reminding us and picking up on the 5 here. This is the 4 of Cups. We're focusing in too much on what we currently have. And you can tell by what his face, he's not happy with it. What we think we have or what we think we don't have. And we're missing out on the Holy Grail. Those opportunities, those amazing possibilities that the universe is offering. We're so hyper-focused in on these same damn 3 cups because 3 overturned cups, 3 cups here. We need to focus in on the Holy Grail, the balance of the 2 of Cups. So the end of the week, should we start to work on that stability within self? That's a big piece within ourselves. That energy flow. Okay. Again, that stability, that harmony within, we're going to be able to embrace those opportunities that are right here in the physical world. Now, know that these 2 can be done at the same time. Right? I've talked about different meditations. Meditations stabilize you energetically and spiritually within. That will help kind of let you enjoy that external world. So back in 2020, I created my first playlist, which was my Archangel playlist. Well, that Archangel playlist kind of cascaded into other stuff. But when COVID hit back in March, that's when I started to reach out and go, okay, how can I help the masses out the most? And that's what I got. Because we know meditation can help us out in so many ways. And so many people are like, yeah, I can't meditate. I can't sit in a room and do nothing. Join the club. But there are ways. All right. So what final support, guidance, and help can I offer my friends to get the most out of this week and overcome the challenges they are facing? Now, next week, I'm also going to be doing an angel reading to get some angelic support and insight into what will help out the most. So I think that's Wednesday. Let me check my calendar. It is Wednesday. That's what I thought. See, I even too second guess myself. Door to spirit. Those connections, that relief that we're looking for. Because part of the disconnection that we are feeling here is with that spiritual element. A lot of us shut down spirituality due to religious abuse or spiritual abuse that we received as a child or as a young adult. Religion is not spirituality. Spirituality is so much more. Okay, so this week offers that opportunity to start to open up some of those doors so that you can start to really embrace that feedback, that energy, that support. Contract. This one's a little bit more tangible. Be mindful of what you're agreeing to this week. We already know that heartache and pain is going to be an integral part of this week. We don't want our heart center to sign us up for stuff that we don't want. That's going to cause pain, more frustration, more feelings of overwhelmingness. So be mindful of the contracts that you've signed up for, because some of the contracts that you have signed up for in past lifetimes and in this lifetime will also come up this week. It's going to be important that you use your head and you start to deal with that because it's connected to these things. Okay? Use your head. Can you start to disconnect and cut off some of the spiritual contracts of past lifetimes? Yes. You can't necessarily do it with the physical ones that we've done because it's an energetical disconnection. So be mindful. If there's stuff that you're feeling that is more on the energy basis, someone who does Akashic record work can help you with disconnecting and severing and terminating those contracts. Okay. Be mindful of that one. You don't want to get into the actual heart of the matter of what you did in that lifetime, because that's going to add more to the heartache and pain. We don't need to know how we died or what traumas we had. We're already carrying it. We want that. Be very specific. Again, that intention is going to be important to eliminate and sever those contracts. Okay. If you have questions, please let me know. I can go more into it with you individually. But the contracts that you have created in this lifetime, you're going to see start to come forward. Some in a good way, because it's stuff that we want. Those ones are going to be harder to find, but start to connect in with them. And some of the contracts are going to be people that we signed up to work with in this lifetime. Not all bad. Okay. Some of it for sure. Stuff that has been brewing and you know is going to come to fruition, you will see this week. Okay. So making sure that we are staying in our head, using our heart to fuel us, but not overwhelm us, because our heart will overwhelm us on this. Yeah, or Martina. Attachment. Like I said, our heart will easily overwhelm us on some of the challenges that we're facing, but also some of the stuff that will come up, that we need to come up. We need to deal with it. It can't just keep being loomed over our head, because that's adding more fear, more frustration, and more anxiety. Woman holding a coin. That prosperity and shift is available. Should you take the time? Should you start to nurture you? Choice. Choices are evident. Again, we have that masculine, feminine. I know he's thinking and she's got the coin, but again, we've got that duality in the masculine, feminine. Because again, the masculine aspect of self that's going to want to go is not the feminine aspect that may be looking at more of that stability, more of that nurturing. I love it. We started off with Door to Spirit and we're ending off with the Temple Path. Those ahas are there. We just need to be intentional and follow that pathway forward. That's the piece. We're looking at moving away from some of this. We're going to direct that night, that willpower, that drive to get where we want to be. What's going to help us? It's going to give us challenge. I want to thank you guys for joining me today. I apologize that we don't have the rainbows and butterflies However, this week is going to give you a lot of support in moving yourself out of what's not serving you. Now, if you did like the video, you may not have liked the fact it's going to be a challenging week. If you did like the support and some of the guidance I gave you, please give it a thumbs up, as it helps people find me on the YouTube. It helps people find me on the sea of YouTube. And also, like I said, there's a lot more coming forward. The best way to connect in so you don't miss out on any of the readings or the healings or meditations I bring out is through subscribing and hitting the bell so you don't miss out on anything, as a lot of my stuff is live. So you can actually be a part of that and ask questions in real time. Again, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me today. And I wish you guys the best of weeks that you can possibly have. Until tomorrow, my friends.